Hey there, Joel. This is Hayes. I've got the Tanaka M700 here, and I've got it all taken apart just so we can take a look at the internals. So I can show you exactly, what I was talking about in our emails, and so you know what it is and where the parts are that you were talking about replacing. First of all, we have our BB chamber, and right. I don't know if you can really see this, but it was cracked right along this edge, but I've epoxied it, and it's been holding just fine. The barrel is a standard M700 barrel by Tanaka, and right here you can see where, if you see the little red in there, I'm not sure, but this is part of our G&G power bucking that I installed. And right here in the hole closer to the brass barrel, there's two holes on top. And so if you're looking straight down on it, it's the one to the left is where a small ball bearing would go to control the level of hop up. I don't know where that ball went. It disappeared, but I think if you are going to be doing the VSR hop up conversion that we discussed, that's not going to be a problem. But if you'd like to try the actual Tanaka hop up system, then it's a simple, you just get a ball bearing, I'd say probably 1 millimeter to half a millimeter, tiny little sucker, maybe 2 millimeters. I mean, we're in America, so I don't understand metric the way that I should, I guess. So anyway, so we're going to start. So I've got it all taken apart, and I'm just going to show you piece by piece how it goes back together in its component form, and then piece it together into the full rifle. So let's start with the barrel and the chamber and all that stuff. So first of all, take your barrel, you slide it through the chamber, and there's a little groove here, and this thing has a lip on it, and they fit together like so. Very, very, very easy to do. Now, something that I like to do, because you can see there's a little give between the this thing and the barrel. So what I like to do is take a little Scotch tape, and this will make it a little harder to take apart eventually. But I'm going to show you this for your benefit. And all you do is just put, there's another little groove here. Between here and here, there's this little groove here. I'm not sure if you're going to see that in the video. But you just put a little Scotch tape there. And this is something that I learned to do on a lot of the online forums. And this just kind of puts a little extra something between the barrel and the chamber. That way, when you put it on, okay, perhaps I put on just a little too much. Of course, Scotch tape never comes off professionally or in a convenient way, and I imagine it's probably going to get stuck on my fingers. I apologize for this. Yep. What did I say? Scotch tape. Anyway. So, that went right in my coffee. Back to this. Barrel, chamber, done. So then the next step is you take your trigger housing and receiver, and this just goes, and you'll notice that on the chamber there's two holes here, and on the receiver there's two holes there, and that's where you're going to put some pins. So this fits just like that. All you have to do is just go like this, they link up, and you line up the holes and find the two pins, which I left on the ground over here. So 2 pins in the receiver. Of course, I'm sure these are going to be a pain to get in, but we will do the best we can. So I'm going to take the this brass piece that will be used to fasten the chamber to the receiver, and just kind of pound these guys in there. Don't want to do it on my table because it's my parents' nice wood table. So anyway, once you get the first one in, the second one goes in way easier. Okay, so now the barrel is attached to the receiver. You can see the nozzle is sticking, or the chamber is sticking out here. You still got the barrel. Step 2. This little black spacer piece. It's an O-ring combined with a big black spacer. And that slides down your barrel first. Then the brass piece that I just showed you that I used to pound those little pieces in. That goes down here, and this is just a matter of screwing this together. So you screw this down until it's flush with the black spacer. And keep in mind, you're going to be doing this in reverse order when you take it apart. Next step, take the outer barrel, which is simply just a hollow covering for the actual barrel. And this just fits in there. It's a very delicate fit, and the end of there's like some sort of catch at the end of the barrel. So you got to kind of play with it for a second until you find it, and then you just press it up until it hits the receiver. Now we're going to install this into the body, and you're going to love how simple and easy this airsoft gun is. You're going to be very impressed with it. Yeah. So one thing to note: this second pin right here, I think this is some sort of bipod holder mechanism. Has really no function in holding together the gun, and it's only screwed in there by means of a small washer or a small nut or whatever it is, and that's just in there right there. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this leftover pin right here and fastening it through the body into this part of the barrel right here. And so I'm going to show you how that works. So we're going to take the barrel. Be very careful when you do that, by the way, because it's only held on there by an O-ring, essentially. And I'd hate for you to, break your gun before you even get to play with it. So anyway, this just kind of, you'll get a sense for how that fits together. You can see I did that pretty easily. But you might not be so lucky on your first try, and it might just take a little playing with. So now I'm going to take this pin and screw it into this hole. Now that's the top half of the gun. What about the bottom half? Now we have the mag and trigger guard, mag housing or whatever, and that simply just slides over the bottom of this into the body like that. I'm just not sure if you saw that correctly. So this just goes in just like that. So now what you've got is you need 2 more pins. On the front, in front of the trigger guard, you're going to have the smaller pin, and that drops right in there, and that's going to install in the body really easily. I'll get an Allen screw for that in a second, but as you can see, we're almost done putting this thing back together. You take the larger one, and that goes behind the trigger guard just like that. So in total, you're going to end up using 2 Allen wrenches and something to pound out some pins. So there, that installs just like that. And this guy takes a little bit larger Allen screw and goes in just like that. Now, gun's all together. Now we just install the bolt. Simply just goes in like this, and voila, you're done. Tanaka M700. Now to start the process all over again, to take out the bolt, there is a small square button in front of the trigger, and all you have to do is unlock the bolt, pull it back. Sorry, my computer turned off. Press this small square. Maybe hold the gun underneath your arm or something, and pull the bolt out, and then you're ready to start the whole process all on your own again. This is where your hop-up adjuster is. Here's the hop-up adjuster. So as you can see, there should be something between here and the actual rubber. That's where that ball bearing comes into play. If you ever manage to find a ball bearing, you can just drop it into this hole, and maybe a spring, but maybe just a ball bearing. But you don't have to take it apart if you want to go that route. So everything, as you can see, is in good shape, fits together perfectly. It's all authentic Tanaka parts, minus the hop-up bucking, which is the G&G upgraded. Now, I screwed the hop-up in there lightly. It does touch the hop-up rubber, but you might want to get that ball bearing unless you're going to upgrade the hop-up, just to make sure that it maintains consistency and has nice even pressure and doesn't rip up the rubber. So, also, here's our bolt. As you can see, it's got the power control system right here. So basically, it's a flow regulator of gas from the mag, and the power bucking, which this basically pulls gas from the magazine. Now, I haven't done this in a while. I haven't messed with this because this gun was shooting around 550 FPS last time I checked. But the way to adjust the power flow valve is to undo this little Allen screw right here, and then you move this little this knob one way or another. I think it was, if you're looking at it like this. So if you're holding it and the bolt is in your left hand, and your bolt is to the left, I think you push this nozzle to the right. If you're holding it so, move this nozzle to the right to get higher FPS, and to the left to lower the FPS. That's that. Here's your safety. As you can see, here's where the trigger mechanism is, and fires. Now, here's your scope. It's a Bushnell. Here's your flip up. Press that button, it flips up. This one is just regular covered, but it's got adjustable zoom, windage, whatever, I'm not sure. But that just mounts to this rail system right here. Keep in mind that these screws do like to come loose every once in a while. I'll tighten them up for you right now, but you might want to either put a little super glue on the threads or something like that, just to make sure they don't pop out on you. Because if you've ever played airsoft, you know how much one screw makes a difference in the entire gun. So we've got all that. I have 2 mags, which unfortunately aren't with me right now, but I will ship them separately. But I want you to get the gun as soon as possible, just to have it. I should probably mail the mags, probably tomorrow. And I'm about to take this to the post office right now. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, I'm always open for any questions or whatever you need. Please don't hesitate to contact me. The 2 mags that are going to come with the gun, one is a authentic Tanaka, one is the KJW works, which actually works better than Tanaka. I've noticed better performance out of that one than the original one that I got with the gun. So if you're ever going for replacements, just go with the KJW. It's cheaper and it works better. Other than that, it's all yours. Enjoy.